Another Political Season by Stephen Wilson. I'm Scott Meeker, and this is called Politics, or pardon me while I stand on a soapbox and scream into the void for a few minutes. My late grandparents were Kennedy Democrats. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. They took those words to heart. My grandfather served in the Army after World War II and was stationed in Kentucky, where he liked to say he bravely fought the Battle of Fort Knox. While he didn't have any exciting stories to share from this time, he was proud to have served his country. They were both elementary school teachers and both found ways to extend a helping hand to others when off the clock. Whether it was my grandmother coming home from school and sitting at the dining room table to tutor students who needed a little extra help, or my grandfather using his talents at woodworking, masonry, landscaping, and painting to help brighten someone's day. Through the years, they ran 2 different bed and breakfasts. It might have been considered a successful side hustle were it not for the fact that so many of their guests became fast friends and they valued those connections more than turning a profit. They lived the golden rule. They lived love thy neighbor. I try to picture them existing in today's political landscape, and I just can't. Mainly because they were not the narcissistic D-bags we, by and large, have become. There's always been a sideshow element to politics, but now this sideshow has become the whole show. In just over 2 decades, we've gone from a point where a funny screen could completely derail a political career. This is the multimedia portion. Yeah. It's supposed to be. So we've gone to the point where a funny screen could completely derail a political career to where even the most heinous accusations can be disregarded if it's politically inconvenient to do otherwise. So where did we go wrong? Some say it was when we let corporate and dark money in through the door. Others say our timeline diverged with the death of Harambe. Both are valid arguments. But to quote Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg as he sought to heal a divided nation, it's we. Hi, we're the problem. It's we. That was quite up, sorry. So remember how our grandparents' generation considered it poor manners to talk about religion or politics at the dinner table? We fully embrace social media, which is basically a virtual globe-spanning table that's open 24/7 and prioritizes and rewards those who fling feces across it like rabid monkeys. Off topic, has anybody else seen the recent horror movie Primate? Like I don't already have enough anxiety in my life to worry about without having to worry about a chimpanzee pulling my jaw straight from my face. But anyway, we've embraced technology. We've embraced technology that has clearly damaged our cognitive abilities. Our brains were not designed for an endless scroll or to try and process everyone's unfiltered thoughts all of the time. And we now stand on the precipice of not being able to distinguish between what is real and what's artificially generated with an app on somebody's phone. Nothing good will come of this. Your doctor says you really need to be on chemotherapy to fight cancer. But that guy on TikTok tells you that if you drink raw milk and slather your armpits and genitals with horse dewormer, you'll live forever. We give equal deference to somebody who has devoted their whole life to become an expert in a particular field of study, as we do to that guy that you know from high school who used to sit in the back of civics class and smear boogers on the wall, who now says, "Trust me, bro," when he holds forth online about the Constitution, law, medicine, history, or whatever the subject of the moment might be. And the technology being weaponized against us is reflected across our political landscape, one dominated primarily by the loudest voices, the most mean-spirited put-downs, the casual cruelty that comes from being taught to dehumanize anyone that disagrees with us taught to dehumanize anyone who disagrees with us, believes differently than us, or looks differently than us. We've reached a point where nearly every mundane aspect of our life, from the music we listen to, the car we drive, the brand of beer we crack open after a long day, they've become political signifiers. We've erased nearly any trace of a political center. We've made bipartisanship and cooperation dirty words. We've embraced a scorched earth sensibility where the primary goal is not the betterment of society, but to not let the other side put points on the board. We've sold our souls to unscrupulous people who weaponize and monetize our anger, counting their stacks of cash while we burn what remains of our collective decency to the ground. And I don't absolve myself of any blame here. I, too, have enjoyed the dopamine rush that comes from handing someone their ass in the comments section. I just wish we could, for a moment, be clear-eyed about where we're at and where we're heading. It's become a tired cliche to say that the 2006 comedy Idiocracy is a documentary, but we're probably only a generation away from a President Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho telling us that we should drench our crops with energy drinks because Brondo has what plants crave, electrolytes. We've rapidly become a nation of dickheads lacking the ability to see the proverbial forest for the trees, where people like my grandparents would be considered suckers for giving a damn about their country, their community, and their neighbors. Honestly, I'd likely think this out-of-control cloud car we've created would be hilarious if it weren't for the one simple fact. My kids and yours will likely be the ones who pay the price when this circus inevitably comes crashing down. Thank you.